Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, on this magnificent Monday for another daily cryptocurrency market update. If you're new around here, every single day at 1 p.m., we release an update just like this one to help you stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. And talking of staying up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, Allincrypto has a huge announcement to be making. And that's what we're going to kick the video off with. Then we're going to dive into a clip of someone who was fundamental in the creation of the internet, talking about the internet and its kind of evolution. And they are right now at the moment working at the Digital Pound Foundation and can see a real similarity with the crypto space. Then we're going to get into the week ahead. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin short term. You've got lots of macroeconomic data. But let's take things a step back and let's dive into the huge announcement that we have for you from Allincrypto. And this is absolutely colossal, guys. This is something we've been working very, very hard on, and we think is going to be an absolutely massive success with your help. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are publicly, officially announcing the allincrypto.com website, where we aim to keep you guys up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, all the news, and also tips and tricks to help you guys navigate this space. We've got tips over here like how to set up MetaMasks and other wallets, hardware wallets included, things like passive income for staking. Of course, we have the news where we will try our best to keep you up to date with everything happening within the crypto space, like the FTX news, which we'll get into in relation to Bitcoin in just a second. We've got projects where we'll do project dives. We did one on Bitcoin Cash the other day versus Bitcoin, a very interesting story. Guys, please do me a massive favor and come and check this website out. We are aiming to take on the larger platforms out there that I feel really don't give a fair representation to the space as a whole. They are very biased in regards to certain cryptocurrency projects and don't cover some of the smaller projects, which we are aiming to do. We will fill that gap. So do come and support the website, guys. Send it to your friends, family, and any groups that you are in and share it around. And of course, feel free to share the articles whenever. Let's dive in to this daily cryptocurrency market update. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the clip that we have of someone who was fundamental on the building of the internet to the end of the video. Let's start things off with Bitcoin. There is a real kind of macro tide that Bitcoin has been swimming against. It's been swimming against it far better actually than the likes of the stock market and others. What is that macro tide? Well, it's inflation uncertainty and it's a strong dollar, with the stock market taking a rest, having done exceptionally well, which was very much predicted by us on this channel. Yesterday, I did a monster of a Patreon update. We do weekly meetings where we looked at crypto in relation to the stock market. Now, we believe that your larger cap stocks, something like the S&P, is leading your smaller cap stocks, things like Roku, which we've had on our watch list for a while, which looks to be breaking out, entering a stage 2. We teach stage analysis on the Patreon, things like let's do RH, another one that most people don't know about. Things like Coinbase, and actually we've been looking quite a bit at miners as we think there's a real opportunity ahead for some of the miners. And actually miners are likely to outperform Bitcoin. So if you want a higher return, we think most stocks are in this kind of turning around and they're a little bit slower out of the hibernation than the likes of the S&P and some of the larger caps, which many are at new all-time highs. We were actually watching, look at where it's bounced right on support, the likes of Dell. You do not get this 360 analysis anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen, other than this channel. And we're going to be portraying a lot of that under the markets tab at Allincrypto. So crypto right now is, the stock market's had a bit of rest, strong dollar, inflation uncertainties. Crypto has actually gone sideways during this time period where most have subdued to it, which I think isn't necessarily a great sign, but what it is it's a sign that there's a lack of interest, which is still there. Everyone's going very short, given the FTX news recently and the kind of Rectember narrative. We're 1/3 of the way through Rectember. Rectember is a gift setting you up for October and November. FTX, of course, looking to liquidate their funds. Solana has sold off significantly as a result of this. It's not been by any of the FTX associated accounts, by the way. It's been by retail. at a time when there's very low volume, causing a real slip. And you can see the reason why Solana has been most affected is because it's the largest holding for FTX. We cover this. We also give a conclusion, which is, I think, above and beyond the rest, because a lot of people like to use fear to sell articles, whereas we're trying to be objective and say, look, is it really likely that they're going to market order this or do an over-the-counter deal? Well, it makes sense to me as someone who's traded with size before, that with small altcoins, that they do an over-the-counter deal. Otherwise, they'd be counter active to what they're trying to do in regards to get funds back. You can see, of course, Solana here in April, they claimed that they had 685 million. They reckon they had 3.4 billion worth of crypto, and you can see a breakdown of it here at allincrypto.com. Very quickly, guys, for you guys that don't like to read articles, we've actually implemented an AI bot that will read it out to you. Very, very cool. So crypto's not really been doing a great deal. We also yesterday looked at rates in relation to the S&P. Very misunderstood subjects. All the economists make it way more complicated than it needs to be. Just look at it from a charting point of view and factually. And we will be doing an entirely separate video and incorporating a lot of that on our markets section. So I think this is right for a short squeeze. I think people are way too bearish here. And we are short term for September. We've said since the start of September, just expect downside. We don't necessarily think it's going to be spectacular. The markets are very thin. You have historically low volatility. The last, got our draw tool on, got there, guys. The last time we had this, get rid of the RSI, volatility on the weekly was actually back in the coming out of the bear market of 2018, and then prior to that previously. We've not had this kind of a low volatility in a long time. I think this is right for a short squeeze, and I think the FTX news, retail will always FOMO in on the news, only to get the opposite reaction. And you've got this news all coming in at a time where the tide is kind of turning a little bit. You've got the dollar coming off at resistance. And of course, you've got the stock market popping its head back up again. You've got gold raising its head as well. I wouldn't rush in and be short here, ladies and gentlemen. And we've said, actually, even though we expect a little bit of short-term downside, the bull case for me is that it just dribbles into these areas. You get these wicks coming in, and then October probably won't go straight up like that. But, October comes around and you start to take out these levels here. You could end up with a short squeeze that does set up for further downside, but we'll watch it all play out. Short term, we're quite uncertain. Mid to long term, everything that we've looked at assesses that not only is a crypto revival here, along with a stock market revival for some of your smaller caps, but that it's going to continue. And here's a factoid for you guys. The S&P rallies within 2% of a recession happening. It only starts to price in 2 months before that, within the tune of 2%, the recession. So the S&P will rally right the way into a recession being official. You've had far better data than normal, leading lots of people to scratch their heads this year when we've been very technically right on it. And we think that this is going to continue. So the S&P will rally into a recession. So unless a recession is 2 months away, the S&P is going to continue to rally, and that's going to continue to provide a positive wind behind the crypto ship. This is all stuff that we look at, and we'll go into a lot more detail on. It's also great for me to write articles on this sort of stuff for short little hits for people to stay up to date on the move. It is going to be an interesting week. This is Wednesday. You've got the CPI. You've also got UK GDP. And then you've got crude oil inventories. And then on Thursday, you've got PPIs. And then you've got ECB rate decision, which is all going to be very interesting. Inflationary fears are back. That's been a bit of a headwind. Very likely the expectations coming in at 3.6 that you're going to get a higher inflation. TE forecasted 3.4. We will see. However, the interesting thing here is, how is this going to affect the rates market, the yields? Right now, they are expecting no more hike. And I don't think this is going to change drastically, given that this is the sort of pricing that we're seeing 9 days away. I don't think you're going to get a hike. Whether they do one in the next month or not is still to be seen. But I don't think this is going to change much, even with that higher print, unless it's a shockingly higher print. You're talking over these estimates into the sort of 4s or something like that. Then they might sort of be forced to do that. So we'll see. I certainly wouldn't rush in short here. It's going to be an exceptionally interesting week. The last thing I want to love and leave you on is a clip of someone talking about the internet, talking about his fundamental role in it. And then, of course, this individual is now working on the digital pound. Very interesting, guys. Never lose sight of what's happening here with crypto. Technologies take a while to get adopted. Once they are, it's usually too late to invest in them. You guys get that opportunity in front of you right now. So let's go ahead and play that clip, and then I will love and leave you.
and then the digital dollar project. Part of the reason why I'm here, perhaps, is that my career actually spans communications. I was involved in developing internet technology from before the internet became commercial, so that starts to, I'm giving away my age here, and really all the way through the development of the internet. And just to comment a little bit, upon, not knowing what the future is like, we may know a little bit of what the future is like, just not all of it. So, as we were developing, the different internet technologies, we, the people that were involved in it, at a time when most of the general public was not, we knew that eventually every bit of communications would flow on the internet. We just didn't know there'd be Twitter. We didn't know there would be, Facebook, and then the digital dollar project. Part of the
Very interesting. We can see a glimpse of what the future's like, and we're very much following the path of the internet. I think the internet is a very good comparable for blockchain. However, I think blockchain is to the order of magnitudes bigger, potentially. Happy times ahead, guys. And on that note, we are going to love and leave you. Please do come and check out the website, guys. Explore some of the articles. Give me your feedback. This site is for you guys. It's to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest. Let us know what projects you want us to cover. We've got 3 or 4 articles coming out today, one on Coinbase and Brian Armstrong's top 10 areas where he would build, which is a bit of an insight into areas we should be looking at. And also one on the likes of ADA's involvement potentially with Wyoming's stablecoin, and a number of others coming out later on. So please do go and check it out. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Check out allincrypto.com, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.